Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are setting up my reading journal for 2024. Now, last year, actually no, let's go back a little bit more. In 2024, I did keep a reading journal on its own. It was a Papershire journal, which is kind of the same as like Archer and Olives. They have a bunch of pages that are all 160 GSM paper, and so I used that as my reading journal for 2022. And while I really loved the end result, I found that it was a little too time consuming. I had done too many spreads that I didn't want to keep track of. I didn't want to like write reviews like I did that year, and so although I love the end result and I love flipping through it and all the colors and all the fan art and everything is so wonderful, I knew that that wasn't going to be sustainable for me if I wanted to keep enjoying doing a reading journal. So for the next year in 2023, I kind of did very similar spreads to what you will see at the end of today's video, but in my daily journal. So I kind of combined it so that I was tracking everything in my daily journals. Now, what I didn't like about that was that sometimes I would finish a journal in the middle of the month. Say it was like August 15th, and then I would start a new journal. But I would have to keep using the prior journal just so I could finish up the reading journal spreads. So I didn't like that as well because once I'm done with the daily journal, I just like to set it aside. And so this year, what you're seeing me do right now is set up my 2024 reading journal, which is a very thin dark grid journal. And I think that this will be perfect because it doesn't have as many pages as the journal that I used in 2022. So I won't have to do so many spreads and like be a little overwhelmed by all the work that is a reading journal. But I will also be able to have it all in a separate place, which I think will be better. Just like for my brain to like kind of understand, I don't know. You might ask, what's the difference between having two daily journals versus a reading journal and a daily journal? I don't know, but I just don't like to have my daily journals be like kind of unfinished while I'm working in a new one, if that makes sense. So I think this was the perfect solution for me. The journal that I am using is a Nota journal. It came in a pack of 3 and I got them like 3 years ago from Indigo for a really good price. And so one of them was like blank, one of them was dot grid, and one of them was lined. And so I was originally going to use this as a future travel journal, but the opportunity arose and I had the idea to use this as a reading journal. So I think that it'll be absolutely perfect and I'm really hoping that it goes well. What I'm doing so far is making just a little cover page. I use some like paint samples, some book pages, some stickers from Papershire, which I will link down below, as well as these little hexagon stickers that are from my shop, Parchment and Pens, but unfortunately it is no longer open. And yeah, so I'm just making the cover page right now. I would love to know in the comments what you guys are thinking of doing for your 2024 reading journals. Have you set something up? Do you have a video showing it? What have you done in past years for reading journals that have worked and what hasn't worked? I would really love to know. I actually have no idea what I'm going to talk about in this voiceover. Because it's quite a long one and I just have no plans. It took me quite a while to set this up because I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with the cover page. And so there might be some parts where I'm just kind of like not moving seemingly, but I'm actually just rifling through my stationery to see if there's anything that I can use. So like right now, when nothing is happening on the screen, I swear I'm like looking through my stuff and trying to figure out what would work. I originally did think that maybe I should use like a marker or a brush pen to make a little title to put in the middle. And so I did grab a piece of white paper for that. You can see me thinking just now, tapping the pen. And so I think I tried doing it on a piece of computer paper, but I cut that out and I thought it looked really ugly. There's the computer paper. So we didn't go with that as well. And in the end, I end up just using a bit of a paint sample and just writing out 2024 reading journal, I think. So I wish I could just skip through this, but I feel like it's really good for you guys to see that the process for me kind of like is trial and error. I feel like in a lot of YouTube videos, things come out perfect, like the first try, and it's not really like that. Sometimes it's hard to figure out what I want to do, how I want to do the layering, and sometimes I'm not happy with how it turns out and I don't know what to do, and it's very frustrating because all I want to do is just set up a pretty journal. But yeah, I want to show you guys a kind of like realistic process, so I hope you guys are enjoying this. Um, Oh, one thing just popped into my head that I wanted to say, and I totally forgot. What was I going to say? Okay, I have no idea. But in terms of reading goals for this year, I feel like I have the same reading goal every year, which is just to read around 10 books a month. It doesn't exactly have to be 10 books a month, it just has to be 120 in the year. And I've hit it the past 2 years, so I think it's pretty doable. With school and things, I don't usually read more than 10 books. And this year, I didn't really have a big reading month. I remember January of 2022, I was doing online school because we had a COVID shutdown, and I read like 18 books that month. It was actually insane because I was at home and not focusing on schoolwork, unfortunately. But yeah, so hopefully we have some good reading months or some good yeah, reading months in the year ahead. I'm also using some of these, sorry, I'm like jumping back and forth between topics, but I'm using some of these stamp stickers that I have, and I feel like it complemented the theme super well. Did I mention the main sheet of stickers was from Papershire? I think so. Not Jenny, Zenny has a bunch of journaling sheets available in her shop, and I think they are perfect for journalers. I think she kind of created them with like the Hobonichi cousin in mind, but I use them just in my daily journals, and I always think it looks really good. Finally, we are moving on to another spread. I'm just taking a look at my 2022 reading journal to kind of see how I did it, but I am going to be making a little book count spread where I draw in all these little squares and color in a square for every book that I read in the year of 2024. I really enjoyed that spread in my 2022 journal, and I feel like it's relatively low maintenance. All I have to do is color in a few books every now and then, or a few squares is what I meant. So yeah, I'm making that spread in this new journal. I feel like, again, I don't have much to say. I'm just using some paper scraps, some book pages, some paint samples. I've been collecting a bunch of those because there's just so many beautiful colors, and I don't always have the right colors that I need from like my origami paper or the paper scraps that I've collected from like mail and stuff. So paint samples are a perfect and free way to get some color into your journals. You guys know that, or maybe you don't know, but when I started out journaling, I didn't have very many supplies. And obviously I have accumulated plenty of supplies over the past few years. But when I started, I was pretty like using the bare minimum of what I had, and it still always turned out beautiful. Obviously, I do love the spreads I'm doing now a little bit more, but just because you don't have the most expensive and the best stationery supplies doesn't mean you can't journal. And honestly, I really recommend journaling, whether it's a reading journal or a daily journal. I have plenty of videos about journaling on my page. I just think it's such a wonderful hobby that gives you memories to literally last a lifetime. I don't know what I would do without my journals. I think it is so fun to look back at my journals, even my reading journals, just to see how I decorate the spreads, added a little bit of color. I will say, setting up a journal does take time. Like, I think I was journaling for 2 hours when I was doing this spread right here. Honestly, drawing the little boxes, like each little square, probably took the longest. But like, it also doesn't have to be that complicated either. You could honestly don't even use color if you don't want to. You could just kind of keep track of the books you read, maybe write a few like notes about what you liked or what you didn't like about it. I just love having tangible things. And I feel like I don't know. The reading journals are so fun. Also, if you want like a cheap, easy way to decorate a journal, I would recommend washi tape. I love using washi in my regular daily journals just to decorate because it's super easy and it's so low maintenance, and you can get a bunch of cute washi designs on like AliExpress. There's so many options out there. You can get them at like any craft store. You can get them at the dollar store. There's just a lot of options when it comes to washi tape, and that's what I really love about it. Okay, the next spread that I am making here is for my favorite book of the month. I did this in my 2022 reading journal as well, as you can kind of see in that upper left corner. And so I figured that's like a pretty easy spread that I can do for this reading journal as well. On the back side of this, I also decided to do a favorite TV show or movie of the month, because in this journal, I will also be tracking the stories that I consume in terms of like TV shows and movies, just kind of writing them down. You'll see in like the final clip of this video, I'll show you guys. But yeah, so I decided to also make a favorite TV show and movie of the month spread as well, and that is on the other side of this page. Again, it was super simple. I just layered together some pieces of colored paper and then made a little title, put in some stickers. Super simple, and I feel like it turned out really cute nonetheless. I know I did call this a reading journal originally. I had totally forgotten that I did make spreads for TV shows and movies, but the main purpose of this is to be a reading journal. But I really like marking down what TV shows and movies I'm watching as well. I think it's just kind of fun. And recently I've been trying to kind of branch out and watch a bunch of different things. Let me know in the comments if you have any, like literally any movie or TV show recommendation at all. Sometimes I always save all these TikToks about movies I want to watch, and I go back and look at them, and I can never decide on what I want to watch. So give me some recommendations in the comments down below. I would love to know what you guys are watching at the moment. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say for the rest of this video. I don't really want to put in music either, because personally, I don't like when there's music in videos. I like to hear people talking, so I'm going to talk your ears off. What else can I say? I don't know. This video is supposed to go up on the last day of the year. I think my plan is for it to go up on the 31st. And so that means that tomorrow is the first day of 2024, which is absolutely insane. I feel like this year flew by so freaking fast. Like, I don't even know where it went. And so I'm quite excited about the new year. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Christmas Eve if you're watching this, or Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, if you're watching this on the 31st. If not, and you're watching it in the new year, Happy New Year. I hope all of you have the most wonderful months ahead of you. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. There's only like a few seconds left of this voiceover before I show you guys a final flip through. I also did do my January spreads off camera, so you guys will see that in the next clip if you want to see how I set up for each month. And then let me know in the comments if you want to see these setup videos for like each individual month. I don't know if that's something I'm going to do or if it's totally possible to do that, especially while I'm at school, but I could definitely do that in the summer if you guys are interested. So let me know in the comments down below. Final thing that I want you guys to comment. I love giving you guys lots of options for things to say in the comments, but let me know a favorite book of yours that you read in the year 2023 and one book that you want to read in the year 2024. I'm definitely looking for recommendations, so I'm open. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave the voiceover off here. As you can see, I made those little titles on this little scrap of a paint sample, and I am just sticking that on. So I will leave you guys here. Don't forget to stick till the end to see the final flip through with all the little squares drawn in and my January spreads. This is VoiceOver Valerie signing out. Okay guys, let's do the final flip through of the setup for my 2024 reading journal. Here is the cover page like you guys probably saw in the setup. Super cute. We have our book count goal and I have now drawn in all the little squares, which took forever, but I am very happy with how it looks. There are so many eraser shavings all over my desk from this. And then we have another page of the book count for 2024, and then we have the page for favorite book of the month, and I did also draw in the rectangles for that, as well as my favorite TV show or movie of the month. Again, drew in the rectangles for that as well. I did the setup for January off camera. I don't know in the future if I'll be doing them on camera. Let me know if you guys want to see that. But I used these really cute stickers from Pineberry Paper, and I just love how it turned out. It's super wintry themed, which of course is perfect. I do have 2 empty pages here, which I will use to make a collage spread, kind of like this one right here, when I finish reading all my books for the month, of course. And then we have a little spread at the back for my favorite, or for the TV shows and movies that I watched throughout the month. And again, I'm keeping the same kind of Pineberry Paper sticker theme throughout the whole spread just to keep it consistent. Anyway, that is it for my setup. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments down below if you're keeping a reading journal for this year or if you made a video about it. I would love to check it out. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!